So let's talk about the truth when it comes to authorized user trade lines in 2023. Well, don't tell me I'm the only one here again. Oh, hey guys, how's it going? That's right, the Crusader's back. And in this video, I was supposed to be helping the Christies set up for camp this year. But since they didn't show up, I ain't doing shit till they get here. So what I can do is talk to you guys about authorized user trade lines, some of the things that have changed and some of the things that have stayed the same, and also the best place to go to purchase authorized user trade lines. Now before I get started, I got an announcement. Tradeline Vault, they're going to be slashing prices with their summer sale from now, Monday, until Friday. So this whole week you're going to get 20% off at Tradeline Vault. Tradeline Vault is #1 in my opinion to buy trade lines because they're easy to work with, they've got a great selection, their prices are great, and their guarantee is awesome. They know what they're doing over there. So if you're in the market to get some trade lines, I strongly suggest you go over there before they're all sold out, because they're not going to last long at 20% off. That I can assure you. Now, let's talk about the truth when it comes to authorized user trade lines in 2023. A lot of people ask me, hey Crusader, do authorized user trade lines, are they still relevant? Do they still post? Do they still boost credit scores? The answer is yes, 1000%. Authorized user trade lines, they still work, they still post, they still improve credit scores. They're not as strong as primary accounts, but they never were. Now, a lot of people ask me, hey, Crusader, they may work now, but our authorized user trade lines, are they going away soon? Are trade lines going to stop working? The answer is probably not in the near future, and I'm going to tell you why. The reason authorized user trade lines even came into existence was because of regulation. Back in the day, couples would get married and only one of them would work. Normally the man was the one who had the job, who would build the credit and all that kind of stuff, and the woman would stay at home with the kids and all that kind of stuff. You know, you guys remember back in the day. Well, what happened was the man would go and get his credit all built and the woman would have no credit. And if anything ever happened between the two, the woman would now have no credit. She'd have to start over. Like, let's just say if they got a divorce, she'd have to start over and she would be in a bad spot. So what the regulators said was, all right, well, let's give the ability to add someone as an authorized user so they can build their credit at the same time as the person who they're with, like a married couple. And then you guys know how it goes. There are a lot of other groups. So what if people who aren't married? What if, what about the gay people? They, there was a time they couldn't get married. So basically they're like, all right, well then you can just add people as authorized users and it'll post. And that's the way it's been ever since. Now, there's been a change recently in 2023. I've been seeing a lot of people selling primary accounts. Now, I'm going to tell you guys the scoop when it comes to that. Primary trade line accounts, well, first of all, primary trade line accounts are different than authorized user trade lines, because authorized user trade lines, you're just an authorized user who's added to an account, whereas a primary account, that's actually your account. The only problem is, when it comes to a primary account, in order to get a primary account to post, somebody's got to be a data furnisher, have a data furnisher's account to be able to post to the credit bureaus. And when people are selling primaries, they normally, if they are posting at all, they have an in. They know somebody at the data furnishers who's posting, making these accounts, and getting them to report. This avenue is not above board. You're going to have to go to the underworld to get a primary account. There's nobody who's going to be openly selling primaries like at a legitimate company. Now, I know some of you guys are thinking, oh, well, primaries are way better. Primaries are way better than authorized user trade lines. Yes, they are. That is true. The only problem is when you're selling a primary trade line account, you can't repeat that. You can't just keep adding people as primary account holders with your data furnisher's account and not expect them to get wise to it, investigate you, and get it all shut down. So you got to do it real gingerly, even if you're going to do it at all. The only problem is most people are greedy, and once they find out they can get it to post, they start selling the shit out of it, and then shit goes south. So when it comes to primaries, I mean, if you have a reliable source, yeah, I mean, that would be the better way to go. The only problem is there aren't a lot of reliable sources, and it's a high likely chance that you're going to give your money up trying to get a primary and then get nothing in return, get a story of how it didn't work out in return. I'm just saying. I know a lot of people out there, I know how to do it, I know how to get it to post. Yeah, you know what? There are some people who do know how to get it to post. Again, I'm personally not the kind of guy that would want to take that kind of a risk. If you're a risk taker, great, go for it. If you would want a sure thing, or a more of a sure thing, I would go with the authorized user trade. Now, there's another way people can add primary accounts to credit reports to boost their score, and that's by reassigning zombie debts. Now, I can't get into the soup to nuts of how to reassign zombie debt in this video, but what I can tell you is that I have a workshop over at the Crusader Cave where you can go check it out. It'll show you step by step how to reassign zombie debt, soup to nuts. It shows you the forms you got to send in. It gives you a whole list of places to go to buy the zombie debts. It's a complete package. So if that's something you're interested in, I strongly suggest you check that out over at the Crusader Cave. Another thing when it comes to 2023 and authorized user trade lines are that it takes more authorized user trade lines or stronger authorized user trade lines to do the same thing that they used to be able to do a few years back. That's because the lending standards across the board have been increased. Interest rates have been increased. Banks are being scrutinized whether or not they lend to people because, I mean, you guys saw Silicon Valley Bank went under. Banks are going under. They need to really scrutinize who they loan to. And it's across the board thing. It's not that the trade lines aren't working. It's not that the credit profiles are working. It's just across the board. The lending standards are getting harder and getting more stringent because it's just the way it is. They're trying to stop inflation by raising interest rates and mandating that the banks have more money. They're trying to get people to save money instead of borrow money, to make a long story short. There you guys have it. The truth about trade lines in 2023, where to go, what's changed, what stayed the same. You guys heard it from the Crusader. Now, I got to get going. I got to figure out where the hell everybody is. I mean, they should have been here by now. And Jason better not be messing with them. I mean, I swear, he owes me one. I helped him get a bank account, remember? Now, with that being said, I got to figure out what the hell everybody is. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Crusader, what the hell was that? Hello? Is someone there?